the Geology Department. Once again, welcome to this episode of the Mansakunda, the Ministerial Town Hall. As usual, the initiative is brought to you by the Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services in our drive to promote proactive disclosure of information. Every 2 weeks, we do our best to keep that schedule. We bring a sector minister and his entire team to interface with the public, so the public can ask relevant questions about the activities of that particular sector, but also to give the public the chance to ask relevant questions as well to the Honorable Minister and his team. We also give the Minister the opportunity to explain to the public the achievements of the sector, the policies, programs, but also the initiatives. Today we have a very important sector, the Ministry of Petroleum, Energy and Mines. And the minister is nobody but Honorable Nani Juara. I think we've gone a long way. A lot of progress has been made. I think we are one of the few countries, if not the only country, yet to be corrected by the minister, that will achieve universal access to electricity in the continent before any other country. Maybe I might be wrong, I might be correct, but the minister will have. What I can tell you is that we are on course to achieve that very, very important milestone. I remember when His Excellency came to power in 2017, the electricity sector was in shambles to the extent that there was a protest called Dafadoi, when young people went to the streets to protest because of the lack of electricity access. Today, that is history. So it's a very important sector. We'll also talk about the petroleum sector, because the sector doesn't only focus on energy, they also focus on the petroleum sector, but also the mining sector. We have a chance to ask those questions today. Honorable Minister, you and your team, welcome. But before I proceed, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of key government officials here. We have the Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Babukar Usmaila Diouf, is here with us today. We have the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Demba Sabali, is also here with us today. The Minister for Public Service, Honorable Babukar Boy, is here today. And we have the Head of the Civil Service and Secretary to Cabinet, Mr. Ali Njai, is also here today. We have also our partners from the Embassy of the People's Republic of China. They also came to I think I'll just take this opportunity to say that the People's Republic of China is a strategic partner to the Gambia, and they've been also supporting the energy sector. That is why they're here to also listen and to understand what's happening in the sector. We also have the PS Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Information. She's here, Mrs. Kodu Jabang. Then we have the Director of Department of Information Services, Asa Davis. We have the Advisor to the Minister of Information, Mr. Kebature, is also here. Now, the risk you find yourself in when you start introducing by names, you tend to forget, or you don't know some other people. I think I've come so far. That's the end of the road for me. For the others, I'm not sure. I don't want to. I know the names, but not the designation. So you might, I seek your indulgence to forgive me. But we have senior government officials from the ministry, I believe, who are also here with us, but also all senior government officials who are present here today. Welcome to this week's Mansakunda. I know we're all anticipating, we're all eager to hear from the minister. He's very rare. I'm not sure he's done so many media appearances. So today is a chance for him to tell us exactly what is happening in this sector. Mbadingol, mbal tentula mbal jela, mbal kontona bake fang, milyalong ko wolle ben jube kang animbe moy kan radio to anin telal to. Momi alon ko banko dingolong eben jube kambi fu be gambe jang ebe bantala bankon kang be konton na bake fang bi ngalun tambale soto na nyum Mansakunda kon kak nyame lokum fula nka minister kilim fi nang anim banko dingole si kacha isaje asafa banko dingol abi mon do ko si fala ala sector to ba banko dingol falanse nyinin karo me alon ko lafta kala mon be ke minister la sector to bi do nga minister kumari bale soto jang ba kurangom be ngalon ko bi me tembo men do tenting mote balu no la balu nyimmani man kurango soto. Minister do miala ate mararin kulangala fo bi gambe tunnol be de ma balbi je be kurang soro andum president la hido di ko dandin ni sango be banna dawo da be gambia jang bawo gambe ngol be kurang be futala jela andum jam fata bake do ko jam fata wobe ala do ko kendo abe minna ala sector aning ala do ko nyol miala ko wole ba fe nyo jambi ka bo JNPC ala permanent secretary kabo ka fo mele ko di petroleum commission aning ala geology director ni ministry donc ka fatele minister of petroleum energy and mines wala mundi atele marari fe ngo fe mialon ko tuloning essence bundala bari falam bankola nema fengol ka fo miye ko mines aning fanan kurango bunda oto bi katabe kumayala momo nyinin karo soro mialon ko wultata ala do ko wala fanna la sa nyinin kano ate fanan fengo fe mialon ko wala mutadi ngabulu o do ko bundala fanan sa fo banko dingol de dandimbe jam fala dum ka fo ko alfa kumari mbalbe sirin jambe mialon ko nata kana ma be nyim Mansakunda wala jumalti ministre mialon ate mararing trade like ka fa sandi rol bundanin do ko bundanin industry ka fa rol Baboucarr Diouf abijanne Demba Sabali honorable Demba Sabali ministre mialon ate mararing seno bundala ministre mialon ate mararing public service la wala Mansakunda do ko lalla karola fannala minister of public service afana bijanne Baboucarr Boy honorable ane mina semalon ko atele civil service kunti ya ka fay aliou Mr Aliou Ndiaye head of civil service abijanne ngalun tan do fanan sodo jang e ka fo me senior public official sol fanan bijanne ni civil servants e ka fo mele ko director sol bijanne PSol bijanne advisor bijanne ibebe sirin jambi bari fanan luntangol mialon ko bota embassy of the People's Republic of China and embassy dol fanan ma beri jambi oto bi katabe kumala abe nafaso la pour ka fo banko dingol do ko mi alon ko ministre be wala ala do ko bundato bawo president ye la fonyele ko amala filotara banko dingol ni Mansakunda tema ba Mansakunda mo karafolete nin moy karafa fenna don fo sina wati ni wati ka fa o karafon ay muta nyaadele wala nan kany Mansakunda programme do bi ministre be na ba fala nga karafa bunda min na wolong essence bunda nin tulul bunda nin banko la nemol bunda nin kurango bunda abe mun do kusifa la fo banko dingol salong mane be kering woto mimu kulti mi anaka kumata baake mbokay di len nuyu di len dalal tay suñ Mansakunda ministerial town hall comme niñ ko di defé rek ñaari semaine bu nekk nañ isi ben ministre mo ñew waxtaan ak askan bi mu jàkkaarloog askan bi wax askan bi li nga xamne loolu la mo liggéey si jawrañ buñ ko dénka wa tamit jox askan bi li nga xamne moy opportunity pour ñu laaj ministre bi li nga xamne mom la mo liggéey si jawrañ buñ ko dénka té nak am nañ fi ministre bu xamne amna solo ministre bi nga xamne nak mom lañ dénka jawri ni mbiri diwi ak mbiri courant bi waaye ak mbiri li nga xam ne mooy alali réew mi mooy mines mooy suuf la ndax xeer la ndax ak yene me noonu ministre bi nag moom moo honorable Nani Juwara ñëw na fi ak ñi nga xam ne ñooñu la moo liggéeyal ki mel ni director of GNPC mu ngi fi ki nga xam ne mooy permanent secretary mu ngi fi ki jiite petroleum commission baa fi ba pare tamit ki jiite geology tam mu ngi fi kon ñu dalal suñ gan yu mag yi honorable Nani Juwara ak ñi nga xam ne ñooñu la àndal te nag waxtaan bi dina am solo comme que mbiri courant ñëpp am nañ si solo ñëpp am nañ si li nga xam ne mooy am nañ si interest parce que courant mooy lépp moo tax ba ñu am dund boo xam ne dund bu sella la kon te dina am solo parce que ñun nguuri Adama Barrow dafa joxe ndigal ne waa tamit dafa promise ne bala at bi di jeex bépp tund boo mën a dem Gambia tey dinañ am courant te ñu ngi si yoon boobu noonu jël leen jéego yoo xam ne yëfi courant du nekkaat li nga xam ne dinañ si am ay jafe-jafe kon ministre bi ñu ngi ko jaajëfal di ko gërëm si liggéey bu rafet bi nga xam ne moom la moo def ak timam bi comme niñ ko dee defee rek lu tax ñuy am programme bi mooy réeroo bu mu am diggante nguur gi ak askan bi président dafa wax ne bëggoon réeroo boobu am parce que nguur dénkaane la te dénkaane dafa foor lu ñu la dénka nag foo nga ñëw di waxtaan ak askan bi di leen wax lan nga ti dénkaane bi kon tey ministre bi nañu wax moom liñ ko dénka moo jawriñ bi amee mbiri diw bi ak courant bi mu wax ñu naka la ko téye ak yan liggéey la nekk di def foofu noonu kon waxtaan bi tey dina am solo di nuyu ñëpp di wax ne am na kilifa yu mag yu fi teewu fii tey ku mel ni honorable Dramé Moussa Dramé ministre bi nga xam ne moom moo amee wàllu jën yi waaye moom du ma demee jën nag loolu ma si jaaxal mu ngi fi ak ministre ak wàllu ndox yi water resources ak National Assembly moom moo amee ministre boobu noonu ñu am minister of public service mooy képp ko xam ne yaa ngi liggéey si nguur service bi ki nga xam ne moom mooy seen ministre bi kii def reform si foofu noonu mooy Baboucarr Boy moom fi ki nga xam ne nag moom moo tii si wàllu mbéy mi mooy honorable Demba Sabali mu ngi fi ak ki nga xam ne mooy wàllu njënd ak njaay bi ak wàllu xëy ki nga xam ne moom mooy honorable Baboucarr Diouf moom tam mu ngi fi ki jiite civil service bi yëpp nag nekk secretary to cabinet ki nga ooyee Aliou Ndiaye moom tam mu ngi fi di leen dalal yéen ñëpp di leen jox seen wàccuwaay kenn ku nekk si yéen di dalal ñi nga xam ne tamit moom mooy suñ gan yu jógee si embassy of the People's Republic of China waaye tamit am nañ fi ay kilifa ñi nga xam ne ñu jógee si public service bi ak civil service bi permanent secretary yaa ngi fi directeur yaa ngi fi advisor yaa ngi fi ak ñëpp ñu nga xam ne ñëw nañ ànd si ak ministre bi ak timam bi di leen dalal bu baax a baax di dalal suñ media team bi si liggéey bu rafet boo la neexee di nuyu ñëpp nag fàttewuñ kenn di wax ne fu mu toll ni waxtaan gi dina neex te dina am maanaa comme nuñ ko dee defee rek saa yu nekk dañoo oo ministre bi mu ñëw waxtaan ak ñun wax ñu moom jooreñ buñ ko dénka naka la ko tii yan jéego la nekk di def pour gis ne lépp loo xam ne dafa bokk si liggéeyam bi mu ngi ko def ni mu ko war a defee nañ ko may 20 minutes mu wax loolu su paree si angale ñoo piyesam ku ñëw tënkal ñu waxtaan bi si local language bi xam naa soose la moo nekk xam naa ne déggut olof so na ko wax si soose pour ñi nga xam ne tamit dégguñ angale ñu xam la moo nekk di dox si secteur bi nii kon honorable minister mu laa dalal nga ñëw commencé waxtaan bi jërëjëf.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for information. Truly, this government is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Ministers here present, our friends from the other diplomatic members here present, senior government officials from various ministries and departments here present, distinguished audience, the media, good evening, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We are very pleased and delighted to come here this evening to update you on the activities of the Ministry of Petroleum, Energy and Mines. We are very much aware of the importance and relevance of the various sectors within the ministry's purview and their contribution to the socio-economic development and advancement of our beloved homeland, the Gambia. I will begin with the petroleum sector. In accordance with Section 29 of the Petroleum Exploration, Development and Production Act 2004, the minister responsible for petroleum is mandated to grant licenses for the conduct of exploration, development, and exploitation of oil and gas. The Petroleum Commission Act of 2021 mandates the Petroleum Commission to regulate and manage upstream as well as midstream petroleum activities, while the Petroleum Products Act of 2016 mandates PURA with the regulation of downstream. In 2017, the ministry secured the support from the African Development Bank through the African Legal Support Facility, which reviewed and designed the Model Petroleum Exploration and Production License Agreement, called PEPLA, and approved by Cabinet. Following extensive data acquisition, surveys, seismic data, including 2D and 3D, has been acquired in partnership with third-party multi-client service providers. A total of about 3,800 square kilometers of 3D seismic data has been acquired since 2017, out of a total of about 8,500 square kilometers of 3D acquired and 6,000 square kilometers high resolution multi-beam bathymetric data was also acquired, complete with log suits from 2 wells that have been drilled with an extensive volume of cuttings and cores. A comprehensive and integrated data management system is being developed. To date, 5 exploration wells have been drilled in the Gambia. The first 2 wells, Brikama 1 and Mansakunda 1, were drilled onshore in 1960 and 1961, respectively, by British Petroleum, commonly called BP. The third well, Jama 1, was drilled offshore in 1979 by Chevron. The fourth well, Samo 1, was drilled by FAR and Petrono offshore, that's about 39 years after the first well or wells were drilled in the Gambia. And this is almost about 39 years ago. This was done in 2018. The Samo 1 was drilled by FAR and Petrono. To put this into context, it is worth noting from 1960 to 2018, only one offshore well was drilled in the Gambia. However, from 2018 to date, 2 offshore exploration wells were drilled. Currently, out of 8 offshore exploration blocks, we have one company called Petrono that is on one of the blocks called Block A4. We have amplified our promotion of our acreages this year, and we are working on key factors that make the investment climate attractive for investors to come into our oil sector. One of such is a holistic review of all the laws that interact with the petroleum sector to ensure inconsistencies, gaps, etc. are eliminated. We are currently working on a new petroleum exploration, development, and production bill that reflects current industry best practices and free of inconsistencies with other laws. We are also working on other legislations that would promote investment in upstream petroleum subsector, and we count on everyone's support so that we get all these legislations through. From 2017 to date, the licenses were FAR Petrono, which was a joint venture, the British Petroleum, BP, and Petrono. A summary of their activities are hereby outlined. FAR was assigned 80% of Block A2 and A5 licenses in 2017, following a farm-in agreement with Erin that held the remaining 20%. In 2018, Petronas was subsequently assigned 40% of FAR shares in Block A2 and A5 licenses. This was followed by the exit of Erin, and the remaining 20% was reverted to government. BP was granted Block A license in 2019, which BP surrendered in September 2021 due to change of their corporate strategy to clean and green energy. Petrono was granted a license in 2020. This was part of a settlement of the arbitration with African Petroleum, which restored A4 license to Petrono, who took over from Africa Petroleum. FAR and BP conducted geological and geophysical, geotechnical, environmental studies. FAR and Petrono drilled 2 wells in fulfillment of their license obligations. Petrono has conducted geological, geophysical studies, fulfilling its license obligations, which exclude drilling of a well. Therefore, all these 3 companies complied with the terms and conditions of their licenses, including support to our communities as part of their corporate social responsibility. However, after failing to find oil in Samo and Bambo wells in 2018 and 2021 respectively, both FAR and Petronas exited the A2 and A5 licenses. After submitting all the necessary documents, information, and records, my ministry issued closure certificate to FAR. The total revenue of about US 70 million and 72,647 was received from 3 license holders between 2017 to date. We are currently at an advanced stage of engagement with companies interested in acquiring licenses on other oil blocks, and the negotiations are well advanced. The Gambia National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, through its Exploration and Production Department, has exercised its mandate to participate in petroleum operations, specifically in the area of onshore exploration. As part of this effort, an official proposal to acquire a license for the onshore exploration block in the Gambia was submitted by GNPC and has now moved to the next phase of the project. Finally, negotiations with the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy using the Model Petroleum Exploration and Production License Agreement for the onshore areas remain underdeveloped, and we have less data coverage than offshore areas. And therefore, GNPC's work program will involve the de-risking of the basin by acquiring preliminary and basic data to kickstart modern data acquisition along interested future partners. We are also happy to report that we are also part of the Africa Gas Pipeline Project. The intergovernmental agreement and the host government agreements were finalized and adopted by ECOWAS heads of state on the 15th of December 2024. The 5,600-kilometer Nigeria to Morocco gas pipeline project will pass through the Gambia and other West African countries along the Atlantic coast. And we expect this to cost, the entire cost of the project will be about $25 billion US. GNPC continues to participate in this prestigious African Atlantic gas pipeline project, a single pipeline project as part of the technical and steering committee meetings. Previously, site selection was done for the location of the landfall, which is going to be located in Sanyang, where we also have our deep sea project, deep sea port project expansion. And this will help in terms of logistical support and also economic benefit to the country when fully implemented. And we also have another alternative in terms of the landing site, which is going to be in Batokungu as an option. Government has a deliberate policy in expanding petroleum supply networks countrywide. And as such, GNPC has been tasked by the government of the Gambia to take this drive and expand its operations in most part of the country. And as such, GNPC has already commissioned two new stations, one in Esau and the other in Basse. These are state-of-the-art containerized mobile stations, and it puts GNPC in the forefront of technology in the marketing of fuel in the Gambia. GNPC Canifing service station, which was demolished during the construction of the Battle Harding Highway, is now reconstructed and in full operations since September 2024. GNPC has an internally developed automated coupon system, which is one of the best in the market. The system automatically redeems coupons, deactivates sold coupons, and monitors the real-time circulation of printed coupons. The energy sector, and basically NAWEC activities, which is more centered around the clarion call by His Excellency to provide universal access to electricity before the end of 2026. As such, the government targets universal electricity access by 2026, end of 2026, and we hope to achieve 90% coverage by the end of 2025. We are developing a compact program for the support, through the support from the World Bank and African Development Bank with other philanthropic organizations under the Mission 300 agenda to provide access to 300 million people in Africa before 2030. You might want to know that in sub-Saharan Africa, almost above 600 million people are without power. And because of that, World Bank, African Development Bank, with other partners have come together and launched a mission to electrify minimum 300 million people before the SDG 7 comes to an end, which is 2030. And as such, we are also lucky to be selected as part of those countries that are also going to benefit from this compact program. So together with the World Bank, we have developed our compact program, and which was validated, and currently with the local office of the World Bank, and we hope this will be taken to the board in September, and we hope it will be approved so that we start implementations as scheduled. We are very lucky. Under his leadership, His Excellency President Barrow is committed also to provide additional local financing up to the tune of about $500 million to electrify some of the unelectrified communities in some of the consequences that have not got full qualification, such as Nyamina East, Nyamina West, Lower Fladu, Lower Salum, and Upper Salum. These are communities that were also partially electrified, and we have committed some local funds from now against 2026 to be able to cover the remaining communities in these consequences. We are promoting the development of mini-grids in hard-to-reach areas such as Jinak. We all know it's an island. There's no electricity in that community, and also the extension of the power line would be impossible because there is UNESCO designated area, and that we cannot pass through with the power line into that area. And as such, we have to look for a mini grid. We have already secured funding through the UNDP, and we hope this project would be implemented this year as well. And the people of Jinak will also see, for the first time in the history of their lives, electricity during the presidency of President Barrow. We are also targeting other communities, including Jaula in Wuli. Of course, I'm not biased. I'm from Wuli. So this was identified. I was not aware of it, so I hope nobody will blame me. This will add to the existing mini-grids in Nyamanar, Sare Demba Toro, and efforts are at high gear to secure funding for the extension of the 225 transmission line from Jarasoma to Basse, which we call the Eastern Backbone. And that will help us significantly. If we are able to achieve that, that means we can have a national grid. So you can send power from Greater Banjul area all the way to Basse, and vice versa. In the area of clean cooking, the government plans to develop clean cooking strategy that is gender responsive and driven by private sector, aimed at increasing the national clean cooking access rate from the current 2% to 15% by 2030. We have distributed over 200,000 efficient cooking stoves to all the regions as part of our climate mitigation and adaptation strategies. This is complemented with the distribution and promotion of LPG and electricity for cooking by utilizing energy-efficient electric cookers. We are also working very hard to reinforce our transmission and distribution, both within the Greater Banjul area and also in the provinces. We are all witness to the recent inauguration of the first 225 kilovolt that is funded through the World Bank, EIB, and European Union, and was commissioned by His Excellency the President just early this year. And this is going to enable NAWEC to be able to dispatch electricity to the Greater Banjul area with quality, and also help us to reduce losses, and at the same time give us the opportunity to increase our renewable energy share of our energy mix. Because if we don't have a stable transmission network, it is going to be impossible for you to use a lot of renewable energy, particularly solar, which is a variable energy. It varies. If there is no sun, for example, or there's a cloud cover, normally we experience significant drops. So if that occurs and you don't have a network that is resilient, that is robust, sometimes you face a lot of instabilities, and we are very glad that we are able to achieve this during the presidency of His Excellency President Barrow. Together with this infrastructure, we also have the state-of-the-art National Control Center for the first time in the history of this country, where our network can be monitored remotely from a location. And we are grateful, Your Excellency, for giving us the opportunity and also to witness this during our time. We have been clamoring for this infrastructure, and it cannot come at a better time than when we are also yearning to achieve universal access. We thank our donors, particularly the World Bank, EU, and AIB, for their continued support to the sector. The restoration, modernization, and expansion of transmission and distribution network has tremendously advanced across all regions of this country. The OIC Electricity Enhancement Project, which was launched in November 2020, is progressing very well. This is about $10 million that we got as a grant funding from the Saudi fund. And this is going to help us to upgrade our Bigelow substation, which is currently overloaded. The substation there is within a growth area, and the demand is very high, and that's the more reason why, even if we have the generation capacity, sometimes in the evenings we load shed some of the areas simply because the power transformer is now overloaded. The demand is higher than the capacity of the transformer. So the project that is coming under the OIC support is going to double the capacity from 10 MVA now to 20 MVA, and that will definitely cater for the future. With our efforts, we have a number of access projects that are also ongoing. One we call the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project. It has 3 electricity access projects covering CRR, URR, and North Bank regions. In CRR alone, this project is providing access to 134 communities. And in URR, this project is providing access to 204 communities. And in North Bank region, 76 communities are being provided with access to electricity from this project. And a total of 444 communities, the total number of communities that are going to be provided access to electricity through these 3 projects would be 414. And this will definitely provide access to 20,591 households in these 3 regions. In addition, we also benefited from the ECOWAS Renewable Energy Access Project, which we call ECORIP. This project is providing access to over 395 communities, 103 in CRR, 85 communities in LRR, and 115 communities in the North Bank region, and 92 communities in the West Coast region. A total of about 395 communities are going to benefit, and these communities are going to get their electricity commissioned, inshallah, by December 2025, including Njogon. So this project, almost about 52,000 households will be connected. We also have another project called JIP. This is funded through the African Development Bank. A total of about 47 communities are going to be electrified. And these projects are all ongoing as we speak. In CRR, 111 communities are going to be electrified through this project. North Bank region, 27, West Coast region, 9. And a total of over 10,000 households will also benefit from this electrification project. We don't want to forget where President Barrow started, and that was his motivation to ensure everyone in this country gets electricity before end of 2026. And this was the electricity expansion project, which was funded through the Indian line of credit. And this was the first project that he commissioned in Kiang. And this was in 2020. And you know, His Excellency, before the commission of that project, he was always telling me, Nani, please make sure they have electricity. And we promised him Kiang will be electrified, and indeed Kiang is electrified. As we speak, all the Kiangs, Kiang West, Kiang Central, Kiang East, are all connected. The network from Kalaji all the way to Soma is connected. Now, if we drive through Kiang, we have poles all over for the first time in the history of this country. So the Kiangkas are no more going to Soma to buy ice block. They are getting now ice block in their own homes, backyards. So this is a great achievement for the government of the day. To enhance electricity transmission and distribution infrastructure within the Greater Banjul area and beyond, thereby increasing access and reliable, efficient electricity, the electricity master plan was developed in 2021 to 2040, which was developed in 2017 initially, and it was updated, and now it's from 2021 to 2040. This was factored in the required energy capacity from imports and local generation. We are diversifying our generation by adopting renewable energy sources, which culminated in the construction of our first utility-scale 23 megawatt solar plant in Jambur. This is the reality. Gambia, like all other countries, we are all transitioning. We all want to move from our dependence on fossil fuel to renewables so that we can make energy cheaper for our people. We are all complaining the cost of energy as end users. But if we continue the same mode of production as we were doing since independence, the cost of energy will never go down in this country. And that's the more reason why the focus has now shifted, like all other countries, to now move towards renewables. And that's why we are lucky to get funding from the World Bank, EIB, and EU to have our first utility-scale 23 megawatt solar plant in Jambur, and which was commissioned in February 2024 by His Excellency President Adama Barrow. In order to upscale our renewable share of our energy mix, we have also launched a 50 megawatts solar IPP tender. And as we speak, it has been evaluated, and we hope we should be able to sign the contract before the end of this year. And if that contract is signed before the end of this year, we will also launch another tender for 100 megawatts to be located within the same area, which is going to be in Jarasoma, because that is very close to the OMVG substation, and it will be easier to inject power from the plant to the grid from that substation with minimal cost. And the land has already been secured. We are working hard to make sure the necessary compensation is paid as well. So we'll be asking for Honorable Keto to support. One of the flagship projects, which is the EcoRib, I've already said this before, is providing access to almost about 395 communities. And this is part of the broader ECOWAS support to all the ECOWAS member countries, not all ECOWAS member countries, but the Gambia, Mali, Guinea-Bissau. These three countries have been identified. We were lucky. All the money that we received for this project, which is about $66 million US, all came as a grant. So this is helping. Most of the projects that we are implementing are all grant funding. And as such, we will continue to push to achieve this universal access as directed by the President. Updates, I'll now move to water, because I don't want to forget. This is NAWEC. It's not only about electricity. On the waterfront, we have a number of projects. The Rehabilitation of Water and Sanitation Network project, which is also funded through the OIC. OIC gave us about $22.5 million to help improve the water supply situation within the Greater Banjul area. And we call it OIC Concentrated Areas. This project is going to have a treatment plan in Sanyang, and we'll build a water storage tank in Sanyang of a capacity of 1,500 cubic meters, and also in Salaji, And these projects are ongoing right now. Construction works are ongoing. And we hope we should be able to conclude these projects by the end of the year, if not early part of 2026. We also have another support from the French Development Agency, and this project was already, the foundation was led by His Excellency the President in May of this year. And this is going to be located, the treatment plant is going to be located in C4. And a number of boreholes have already been drilled to support this project. And this will help significantly in improving the water supply situation, not only in the Kombo South area, but also in the Greater Banjul area, including KM and Banjul. Under the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project, the World Bank has also supported in the water sector. Of course, not as big as in the electricity, but we got some support to drill 14 boreholes, 10 of which is currently being done in the Greater Banjul area. All the boreholes have been drilled, and in the next few weeks, they'll all be commissioned, and this will help to bolster the water supply within the Greater Banjul area as well. And they have also supported in drilling 3 boreholes in the North Bank region and also 1 borehole in LRR. In total, about 16,915 households will benefit from this project in the West Coast region, and 3,667 households in the North Bank region will benefit, and 1,833 households, respectively, in Lower River region will benefit. The project is almost about 95% complete, so we hope this will be commissioned very soon. His Excellency will have a lot of work to do in 2026 because we'll just be inaugurating and inaugurating and inaugurating. Now I'll move to the Geological Department. The government has signed a prospecting license agreement with a Norwegian Gambia mining company to explore polymetric nodules within the Gambia Exclusive Economic Zone, which has started in earnest. This initiative holds strategic importance for the nation, as the successful identification and potential exploitation of this deep sea mineral resource could significantly enhance national revenue, diversify and mineral resource base, and promote sustainable economic growth. Right now, we are at the prospecting stage. They have not yet started the exploitation. So currently, they are doing the surveys, the investigations to know whether the quantity of the nodules that we have in our EEZ. And after all the analysis, we will work on the licensing proper, which will be the exploitation. But as we speak right now, it's only exploration. Sand dredging, licensing, and resource management. The department has made considerable progress in regulating sand dredging operations through structured licensing process. Key efforts include zoning and block demarcation, which serve as effective mineral resource management strategies. These systems provide a clear framework for sand dredging prospecting, allowing licensing companies to concentrate their activities within the designated area with high potential, thus promoting efficiency, reducing environmental impact, and enhancing regulatory oversight. Dredging became prominent after the successful operation of Sino Majalak, which invested around the Denton Bridge. The ministry has been able to meet the growing national demand for construction sand while ending sand mining along the coastline. This has supported ongoing infrastructural development projects across the country, ensuring stable and reliable supply of this essential construction material. And let me just report that from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, we have seen an increase in demand for construction sand, which is real testimony that there is development going on in the country. On average, the demand was almost about 420-something thousand cubic. Today is over 1 million. And that's a significant increase. This is not only supporting the infrastructure development, but it's also providing the needed revenue from royalties that are being paid to Gambia government, which is also helping government to take care of some of our social needs, supporting our health facilities, supporting our schools. So the energy sector, the mining sector, the petroleum sector are critical in supporting government in its socio-economic drive. And as such, we at the ministry have committed ourselves to help government reduce its dependence on only donor support to be able to have a revenue base that can also support our development agenda. So we'll continue to support government development agenda, and we will ask the support of everyone so that these efforts can come to fruition. The major challenge that we face as a ministry is the issue of illegal sand mining. We have stopped mining activities on our coastlines because the environment has already been destroyed. If you go there, it's an eyesore. And that's why government took the decision since 2023 to ban sand mining on the coastline from Bigelow all the way to Katong. It is illegal for anyone to go to those beaches and extract sand. But this is a serious challenge today that all of us are facing as a government. People are illegally going there at night, and they are continuing to mine on our beaches, further destroying our environment. So we are appealing to everyone to support the ministry, the government, in combating this menace, which is only benefiting few at the expense of the majority, which is not fair. In conclusion, the ministry remains committed to transparency, sustainable resource management, and creating an attractive environment for investors. The government will continue to create the enabling environment for private sector participation through reforms and regulatory strengthening. We remain committed to delivering reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy as a catalyst to job creation, improved livelihood, and inclusive economic growth. After 60 years of our independence, we are committed to end the use of hurricane lamps and candles in our homes and replace them with reliable and affordable electricity supply as directed by our president. Let us continue working together to build a resilient and energy-secure Gambia. I thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Honorable Minister Nani Juara, for that very brilliant but very comprehensive presentation. I think the sector is a very big sector. The petroleum component of the sector alone is huge enough, and that can even take 2-3 hours of presentation. Now you come to energy, which has to do with both water and electricity and mines. But I'm happy that he was able to do a good job in summarizing all the good things they've been doing. I think there's rapid progress in our electricity expansion. Now, before we proceed to call on the PS will give you maybe 10 minutes to summarize all that has been said in the local language. We'll acknowledge the presence of a few honorable ministers. We have Honorable Minister Hamad Nkeba, Minister for Lands, Regional Government, and Religious Affairs. Welcome, Honorable Minister. Today, I'm surprised. We have a almost full cabinet here today. So thank you, Honorable Ministers, for your support. We also have the Chief of Staff of the President and also the Minister responsible for the presidency. Honorable Maud Casey is also here with us today. We have some friends who are also here today to participate in the Mansakunda. Our friend from Nigeria, representative of the Nigerian Embassy, the Nigerian High Commissioner is here today. Welcome, my brother. Thank you for your usual support. We have also a representative from the Sierra Leonean High Commission as well, also here with us today. But also we have reps from the Turkish embassy, the embassy of the Republic of Turkey. They are here today also to take part in this Mansakunda. We want our bilateral partners, but also our multilateral donor partners to be attending the Mansakunda because they give us a lot of support. As we had a testimony, the People's Republic of China is investing a lot. Turkey is investing. Nigeria, we have a lot of work to do. Recently, I think Nigeria sent, 20-something technical staff to come and support the Gambia. So you are partners in development. That is why we always appreciate if we see you attend some of our programs. So before anything else, I'd like to call on the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Cisse, it's Cisse, to come on.
I think every Sisakunda will want to have a good Kamarakunda. Thank you. Good evening to you all, honorable ministers, my colleague permanent secretaries, directors general and managing directors, other senior officials here present, and also to the general public that our audience there. 10 minutes to summarize. That's very good job. I'll try. I'll give it a try. Thank you. Okay. Mbadi on bal konton na. Nte kanamen ke waleng. Minister kuma komen fo angale kamala. Jibe mba futandila manding ka kam moelal nyame ani suwaka moelal. Minister a diamo kumasi konton dirol la. Ko minister Mel Bijang ani banko mol ani luntangol menata be kabray be konton anata tandiko Lua, Petroleum Exploration Development and Production Act, 2004 aketa luati, wale sembo di ministry la, pour ka laisino di company la, pour ka tulo la ko jibe banko kan jang. Batoto, anada tandiko ka Petroleum Commission law, ko loi même fane wolo wala 2021 Petroleum Commission Act, pour ka nyindo ko jibe, mais marata tulola nginola banko kono ani pura fanang même fanang beloring ka through the Petroleum Product Act fanang ka jibe essence wafo meke ka banko fan ka kenyameng ito le fanang ka ko jibe in 2017 Minister Marco Rosoto from African Legal Support Facility membe African Development Bank koto ka lasino nyin ngamendi kama ko kadira ni kam to tanka di mel solata do ko la pour ide do ko ke kamala ni be do ko ke la e ka seismic survey ke e ka data sotoje wala ke makoy pour kalong membe banko du maka jiki soto ko fembije ni oje o jiko kama e kana company kana pour ka colonsing o colonsing o fana ni oke foi ba tulo jela foi tajela o fanam ba ko fola atandi ko ko lulle sinta kabri 1960 kana 2021 ko lulol ako fulo asinta 1960 ni 1961 sabanjaw o sinta 1979 and chevron leo was sing fulol men sinta brikama one and serakunda one in 1960 and 61 BP British Petroleum wo leo kolon sing ako kabrun chevron ye kolon sing offshore wala bakono me manke tinti ngokan kabra boto wala kolon ne man sing Gambia jang fo kabrun fa Petronas ya sing in 2018 ya kolon foloki sing ka fole sama one and fulanjao bambo one in 2021 yo aka mentandi ko kabri 1960 kolon man sing for 2018 His Excellency President Barola Marokono watandi ko President Barola Marokono kato kawol ketale fo kolon fula sinta memman sin saji tang sabaning kabrin saji tang saban to common yo atani fananko ga do lalmen soto pour ka lasino di do la sailing bari sa inclindron les compagnies soto men bije e for lies inoni wo petro no lebe woto yo anata tani fananko jani wo nga lies so dinum BP la ngadi fa Petronas la ani Petrono bari ñu BP ni fa Petronas sai wol mantara ni banko kan e nyanta men kala yo kele fo fa banta sai Petrono wala bijang e fo laisino be wala bulu fa Petronas kabila do ko ke e kolon fulol sing inata tandiko ita continue la koteke eni la laisino bari nyanta men be kala no la laisino e men di la wato kono yo kele inata laisino inata fonyo wolto sa bari kabriye fonyo femfe yalon ko wolen kayti koti do ko ani information me yalon ko nsola tala ngajele ko ya be dile janni abe close certificate dile la wolen ka tandi ko say abantale yanta men be kala ya kele sa fenten ni tema yo ana tandi fanan ko soto men keta nyin do ko to kabrin 2017 wato men president his excellence president baro e bankota wolen yata US dollaro wili taworo wala nim fula ani keme woro tan nan ni woro wala wala soto nafuloto nyin ko million wala soto nyin nafuloto 7 no yeah it's not written there sorry it's not written there okay sorry it's 70,000 that is there but I think I'm being corrected it should have been 1 million okay so me suffering bolo fokan right okay okay so ikata ni nako menyenta se fela no woleng million taw woro wala wili taw woro wala ni fula keme woro tanna ni woro wala dollar american dollar kodo wala sotata kabrin president baro e mankota ni santema so mbota woto anata tandiko sai GNPC la ko GNPC fana be do ko ni kata ko keka kaje ko fana ye dadu nyin sansi ni ko to sai e dulal men di la wala tinto kan ni Mansakunda be o kacha kanne le kacha folo ketale sai be damen to sammi be kambe na pour kaje ko ifana ye la sino soto pour ka do ko commence anata ni fana ko African gas pipeline wala pipeline me bola ka bona Nigeria kata fu Morocco ani fana ka futandi Europe tubabu tandi ko fanam be o kafo kono na Mansakunda me ana ko GNPC lebe lori nyewoto anu pipeline no fana no keda fana batina essence ni gas wala ko sambonya abe sona yala bankol tema kabo Nigeria kata fu Morocco ani tubabu fanala o kamala anata tandi ko dulal tandi yitandile o pipeline no nyata futala damen to walen sanyang kaje ko anim poro expansion o president baro yemen juran mamme sanyang banko kan kaje kuwolbe futala nyola nyamen pour ka do ko ni sonandi e walen dula foloti bar dula fala jaw fana e ka bato kunko fana biyen na tara dula folo man betea sa e bato kunko fana biyel pour que dula fala jaw atandi fana ko GNPC be ila do ko kafukanne katara banko la dula mumeto wo kamala inata petrol station fula yewol yele esau ani base tundol la bari be do ko bakan ko teke e la fajara service station me alon ko kawribe sela de dala badil hiding highway nying dulani ya tianu bar sa ya de da kule o fane do ko commencer ne anata tandi fananko GNPC ye système o ka coupon système e ka tiketo ledi pour essence e ka sanne ye tiketo di ni futar essence pour essence soto ka tan ko GNPC même finance e betata bakel anyonte banko kan nimboto oto kata courant la ma fon la nawek atandi fananko his excellency president Adama Barrow ala Mansakunda ya tandi ko e lafta gambe dula mu me ye courant soto e nyin sanna la 2026 bare do ko ni kata ko ba ke kanne me atandi ko be kemo kono si dila tan kononto be soto lale janni nyin sa e banna inshallah o do ko fana bakana nan kata ko anata itandi ko e programme fana do be ka fo e compact programme wo World Bank ani African Development Bank itelle bo ko koma nyindung inata menje ko mo million keme saba nani Africa tundo kan e lafta courant futandi la wallama yo kamala inata Gambia fana tombon Gambia fana dabo ko kono an so mbo do ko fana kanne o kata ko kanne jam fatato le kaytol me be nyanta parera pour o fanan ketale inshallah mbodo ko fanan timmandila le yo anata tani fanan ko his excellency president Adam Barola Maroka kono anata fo la Mansakunda ko mol sema ko nyaaw nyaay fanan semen kino yoke bawo na tundo dol bije kroma futaje Mansakunda fanan nata tay fama ko ay million keme lulu me ko wole lundi la pour kaje ko courant futata dulal me masoto wo dulal wala lowa fuladu nyamina east nyamina west lowa salum ani upper salum bato fananto anata tandi ko dulal bije membi ko jinak courant la futo je abe kole ala sa nyanta fen lol men ko mini grid wala sa yetol be fansun dula fansun courant soto lolé fawene bare membe me alon ko wala melbe o tundola abe mako la pour finance courant soto wo kamala soto na fulo ni menyanta du nawto ngawo soto le kabo UNDP bulu so do kol ba pour kaje ko finance soto la de la même fanan bu ko jawla wo fanan bo fansun courant du la de dale bari nyi sifa na ke nyama narile anin sara demba toro yo abijele ka tandi ko courant soto no soto nyala na man ken na wekti so mbol pata je ka tandi ko courant fanan ka bondi dula ni ka samba dula doto ka mel londi kawke wala transmission line yinti 225 kV line yo inaugurate no amamme president baro yo inaugurate lafto nyo samba la ka bo soma kata basse fanan o fanan ben ferol to mel landi pour kawke anata itandi fanan ko to nyalen tabiro ke kele banko kam an musolle kawke baake o tabiro e ka sinkirol menta pour ka tabiro ke amon bete yana jada kendo do jada kende yato wo kamala Mansakunda le ferol nin sirol londile me alon ko bajende la ko musol la janto fanan e bo jibe la ko kono anin kaje fanan ko private sector e dai keje ka ko clean cooking access waleng sirol tabir law me alon ko ite batak la natela musol kan so sifal natila banko ka wo kamala efficient cooking stoves 200,000 wala wili keme fula wala nyo di da banko kan nyin santam bilal so ni mo bataje nata tandi ko do ko be banko kan ka courant futandi dula beto e atandi ko projet ko men bo ke kan wala jam ecorip ni di electricity expansion project anin jib wal kamala o projet wol be community willy killing keme killing anin fulay bo le ba jala ko wolle courant so nyim banko kan melbe tundol to CRR URR NBR LRR West Coast and West Coast region and so do ko fana mbakan ne ani ba jala ko janin sama be banna dula jamal be courant so la ngana ko mol melbe wo tundol la ya jele say polol ni julol be city kan pour ka courant dundi mol la banko to mital fana be di kam mol lale mital man ko danaka fembe ka jo men ka jo wala kemelulu wala application fi nawek ne aja man jono munta makoro men sotota kadi Mansakunda ya wo kamala ena taja ko mital mol man nyana fen jola je wala na mol ka mita soto kemelul la so bebe kata president Adam Barola marola kono anata itani fananko electricity master plan development but 2021 kata 2040 woye ferol le landi kaje ko nyin courant nyin doko bebe ke kabe kala nyamen ani nakata fanan courant be continue ka soto gambe nyamen jang ate batakela wo ko mala solar plan 23 megawatt ya o doko kele fo jura jambour wobe nawe sabe kernya wobe nawe be be courant di kan kabo solar plan to anata tani fanan ko tenda menke 50 megawatt wala megawatt talulu solar IPP wo fana mba kanne sambi mba kumfala ninga kumfa ni company men yo wo soto wo fana be do ko kala kaje ko wo 50 megawatt yo nati banko kan ni wot bataje be megawatt keme fana nati la banko kan ani megawatt tan nani o fana be silo kan ni company bo do ko kan nyimbe ka fome best wala battery storage system ka je ko batteryol me ala ko fanan senyin solal sebentia ibajela ko ani suto wala fanan mun tiloma soto fanan courant se continue no kasoto ka di molla kabra batoto tata jiola kuoto jiola ko ay tandi ko duku jamale be kekan pour kaje ko jio futata molla o kamala transmission distribution line ol ibol duku kanne ani bo holol fanan be sinkanne dulata taring santelo bankol fanan bo holol be sinkanje o project gol wolen OIC water project the water supply project in Greater Banjul Ereka Fai Wasip me alon ko president fana yo tolola amamme sifo sati kono tani fana jam project fana be makoro ke kan jiolla ma fonlale ni no futala mo jamalla nyim bankun kan nata tani fana ko nin geology fana ka do ko kele geology la do ko kula be ke kan jamme munena ba jeti wolen ko lasino dita pour kata ba kono jibe kaje ko soto fongol ni muna fongol men bije pour ase banko nafa o kiskisiro ba ke kanne nyin tembento an jiko bije la ko o soto fongol na fongol makoro kala ba ke banko e and wol kono wolen kanyim batyon men fote be e deda ram melke deda e solota fongol men naje wol fanam be ko kono jele sand dredging wolen ka kenyo bondi bakono ftandi ko membe keru nun ka kenyo bondi nun tinti wala kan o yetti ñaar jamanati na dandawol la o kamala enata Mansakunda nata fero landi yo ko sa ka kenyo bondi bakono kabri wo kala naka lasino di sino majilak jal bakla ni aji be dantim bridge to lebe nun je ka kenyo bondi bakono kabri yo je gaje ko o atata nyamale say nata laysin sabam bolo di ko la pour kaje ko kenyo kana fo kenyo la nyim banko kan ngatum beaje le do ko be keri banko kan o kamala kenyo kamenke banko la nyato ta nafa mbere wolon ni tara nyim fero ni lebe laring ani be ni do ko la nata tani fanan ko be continue la ka nyini ndiroke ni mineral la mel be nyim banko kan an o kamala ni compagnie jamale be do ko la kaje ko gawo ngeni ndiro ko continue wala pour ka fam muna fam wala wa kamala ya tandi ko kumo kum fadula ka tandi ko bala danda wala kombe ka kenyo ngeni bije ko ke bari a continue tele mulba ke kan ani matra ke ka silola ka tandi ko ni mo moje o ma fon lebe kenyo wala be dinko sinda amanki contrôler Mansakunda le bula wala yo be nyo makoy banku din kende yakan kaje ko musifa ko aydan kanake inshallah yo so kuma wala kum fadula tandi ko ala ministry ni Mansakunda ila tajelal ko nimbe na soto fengol marala je ko nga mara silo la mealon ko transference le wala ko min kaje ko mobe ya long mba mara ka nyame ku kana ma bo akana no kunje bo kanne anin kaje ko mel kana investor mel bina jang pour ka do ko ke banko kam fana yaaje ko Mansakunda lu walin sarto menda abe na falale fo e sonan sa difference na do ko ke gam nyim banko kanja yo wo kamala ana ratandi ko nyin sanji taw woro kabri independent laf ngaaje ko molka courant ika lampol soto mena nyin courant lampo ani courant lampo nyin lampol sondolo le kamelta bu na ko dal kon lafta way dang wo kamala president his excellency president Adama Barrow a tandala ko alafta courant futa dulal beto wala tin kabra futa kiyang wo kita ku dima balti ka don kabra Mansakunda ta kuta ka tandala ko lafta kiyaye courant soto so wo kamala a contanta nyin do ko be kering pour kaje ko gambo mu courant soto nyin sannala ñu leen kumudi mo nek thank you
abarka nakamara kundan ko yakata bake yes wise Modo Diouf is here. You have a candidate for JRTS Mandinka News. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Now we are heading somewhere. Before we open the floor for questions. I'd like to have a brief introduction of the team. We'll start with the director of JNPC, Mr. Njai. If you can just tell us your name and designation, then we move on to.
Thank you very much. My name is Babu Karnjai. I'm the managing director of JNPC.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lamin Kamara, the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Petroleum, Energy and Mines.
Next, from Petroleum Commission.
My name is Jerry Barrow, and I'm the Director General, Petroleum Commission, responsible for the regulation of upstream and midstream petroleum activities. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Aliu Jao. I'm the Director of the Geological Department, Minister of Petroleum, Energy and Mines.
Thank you, Mr. Jao. So we have the mics. Mata. Ramatulai will support you. Why is Ramatulai? Get one mic and stand on that side. Maimuna can stand on that side. So we take 2 questions from this end and 2 questions. Then we revert back to the minister and his team to answer the questions. Now, we would appeal, and why is the other mic? Are you going to do this side? Okay. Would appeal for you to ask your questions in a local language of your choice, preferably, if you can. If you cannot, it's fine, you can do English. But preferably, if you can do the local language, would appreciate that. So, we start here on this side. Yes. Sinbi.
jërëjëf maa ngi tudd Amath Kébé jóge ko Paradise ñi jaajëfal la bu baax a baax ci taxawaay bi nga xam ne yéen a ko nekk def ci wàllum énergie su ma laajtee bi dinaa ñëw ci wàllum sand mining because gis neen fi nga xam ne moo nekk boori Kartong Gunjur Tujereen ñi nga xam ne ñoo fa nekk gisoo neen ci ginnaaw amoon neen ñu ngi doon janoog taskati xibaar yi di wax ne illegal sand mining mi ngi nekk dem foofu noonu sa biir yi wax nga ne bokk na ci jafe-jafe bi nga xam ne yéen a ngi koy jànkuwante bot naka ngeen defee ban jéego ngeen nekk di jël pour daggal li nga xam ne moo nekk wàllum sand mining beneen bi day ñëw ci wàllum pétrole bi because jëmmi jamono ci gannaaw déggoo neen fi coow bari woon lool di wax ne réewum Gambia am neen essence amun essence mu doonoon coow loo xam ne ba léegi xamaguñ fan la coow loo noonu mujjee bëgg neen nga indi ci ak leeral fan la mbir moomu noonu toll ndax am neen essence suñ ko amee ban jéego la nekk di jël pour jëriñoo ko suñ ko amut it ban leeral ngeen si jox askan wi laajoo ci li nga xam ne moo nekk kàddu yooyu.
Okay, thank you. My name is Aissatou Keita. So my question has to deal with what is the criteria used in the issuing of mining rights? Thank you.
Okay. Yes. That final question and then we'll be back.
Okay, man suma tur bi Al Hassan Sidibe maa ngi liggéey axbaar Gambia bil Arabiya suma laajte bi mooy suñ seetee yeneen essencerie yi price bi am na ñoo xamante ne yéen jot a yokka price bi am na ñeneen ñi tamit yokkun ko kon ñun xamul ndaa yéen mun ngeen waxal ngeen loolu nit ñi ndaa price essence bi yokka ne ko fii wala gasoil bi.
Okay, thank you very much. Must commence ko si first question mooy illegal sand mining bi waxoon naa ko fii already. Illegal sand mining buy am Coastal Road comme que wax nga ni already is illegal di yoon waaye ñu ngi liggéey ak police yi pour mun a control this illegal sand mining that is happening di yoon parce que government gis na ne daal environment boobu dafa yàqu completely soo xoolee from Batokunko all the way to Kartong all those beaches dafa yàqu moo tax government stop ko waaye bete ñu ngi gis xëy na tey sax tey bu maa ñëw dama tase ak some few individuals dama leen suspect rek comme faaw ma ko waaye boor boobu leen dee jaar ñu am peel te ñoom time boobu leen dee jaar dem si garage tippa garage bu nekk boori Salaj am na guddi time boobu la de gaay dee dem I have my intelligence that ba dee am information from the coast as well léegi-léegi ñu jël seen nataal time bu ñu dee dem mooy time after 8 o'clock 9 o'clock gaay dee dajale si kanam tuuti rek by midnight dañoo jaar si yoon yu nga xam ne moom is not the highway am na seen own yoon yu xam ne mooy dañ ko créer ci boori bij bi foofu la gaay dee jaar balaa suba balaa in the morning rek fekk gaay def nañ seen illegal activity ñu génn the same time sooy ñëw liggéey sax around 8 o'clock da ngaa gis boys yooyu ñu xam ne ay pel lañ dee am ñu wàcce si moto ñu ngi ñibbi ban time la gaay dee liggéey loolu laa dee wonda right now ñu ngi dem xam naa moom suba nga gis leen tamit ak seen pel nga xam ne moom day wàcca yépp illegal sand mining la te ministry alone mënut koo safa mënuñ koo control ñëpp including the communities this is happening within communities te problème buy am communities ñooy njëkk a am seen challenges balaa ñeneen am dal problème ñoom seen boppa ñoo war a taxaw ñu dimbal nguur pour problème bi ñu mën a ko solve ñun ñëpp du mën a nekk si bij bi man mënumaa nekk si bij bi from morning to evening police du fa mën a nekk all the time but the people are seeing those trucks ñu ngi gis trucks yi every day ñu ngi jënd si bij yi foog ñu dimbalante rek waaye problème boobu mu ngi fa te sun lifi ne sun concern la so we are appealing to everybody to help yi fi diw am naa every day su may julli boobu laa dee ñaan yàlla dama dee jël suma time bi ñaan rek xam naa président bi tamit loolu la dee def waaye pour leeral mbir bi daal gas nañ ay teen si géej ba waaye ba tey amuñ diw bu nga xam ne mun nañoo wax ne am nañ diw amanguñ ko discover nguñ ko gas nañ teen waaye luñ fa gis dafa mel ni misaali diw rek waaye loolu taxul nga ne ko diw laa am mun naa koo jaay so wax boobu wax ngelaw la ok amut moo tax ñu ngi yokkat suñ effort pour ñu attract xam nga gis nga oil exploration dafa seer pour mun a drill benn weer rek mun ngaa spend not less than 30 million and over boobu pour gas rek $1 million sa benn activity sax in 1 year can go almost about $100+ million dafa seer nguur mënu ko compagnie yu mag rek ñoo mën a ñëw fii dimbale ñu laay ñu exploration ñu am ci Sénégal ak yeneen countries Ghana Ivory Coast Nigeria all others international companies ñoo jee ñëw international oil company ñu am xaalis ñu am dollars ñoo mën a def lii so ñun lu ñoo mën a def mooy maquette ba pare yokka suñ investigation to make sure that data bu ñoo am suñ ko wanee suñ la ko wane te nga nekk international oil company di nga gis sign nga xam ne moom technically di nga wax ne bii moom jar na pour ma ñëw te su loolu leen nekk so tay as we speak am na ay compagnies ñoo xam ne moom ñu ngi ñëwaat dañ demoon bi ñu amee Covid am na compagnie yu bari yi fi exploration bàyyi nañ ko waaye affaire bi moom dafa ceeñaat léegi xëy na yàlla dinañu dimbal ñun tamit ñu am suñ oil suñ ko amee yàlla mu jëriñ ñu ba mu gën a am solo because am na compagnie yoo xam ne am nañ diw de waaye bete macha allah waaye ñun suñu bopp moom incha allah dinañu njëriñ incha allah jërëjëf. And then that side, the criteria. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to be speaking on everything. I'll allow the director of geology to respond to that, if you don't mind. Please. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, dafa am yoon yoo war a jaar soo buggee mining Lansing or quarrying Lansing dañ am ñaari fànn mining am na ak quarrying waaye Gambia fii yëpp lañ dee wax mining su dee quarrying la normally prospecting du fa dee nekk luy prospecting mooy gestu because like sand gravel bi is outcrop ñu ngi koy gis doo ko dee gestu already xam nañ mu ngi fa like duun si waaye su dee mining la like or dredging boobu nekk loo xam ne da nga ko dee gis loo njëkk a def mooy da nga war a apply lu ñuy wax prospecting or exploration boobu fànn pour research do di research pour gestu xam ñaata moo fa nekka ak the type of minerals su dee xam nga ko dafa am criteria yu ñu lay laaj because da nga war a am technical competence pour undertake that activities mooy sa technical war nga koy am ak financial competence pour dugga si liggéey boobu because dafa nekk loo xam ne du liggéey boo xam ne liggéey caaxaan la du nekk ku nekk moo ko am da nga war a am financial competence soo demee ba identify tamit an area balaa ñu lay pousse boo wax ne demal foofu loi bi lu mu wax section 3 of the Mines and Quarries Act mu ne mineral resources reside with the state mooy state bi moo ko moom waaye si fu mu nekk xaj na suuf soosu am na ku fa sampal néeg o ku fay bay o ku fay jëfandiku balaa government di ko joxe dafay bëgg a ñu yëgal kooku su dee kooku dina lose because of yaa ngi dem foofu dafa am lu ñuy wax compensation in accordance with section 85 of the act da nga koy ndàmpaay because yow soo ñëwee pour use foofu da nga koy xañ moom lu mu doon am waaw te government def na gis ne sooy xañ nit lu mu doon am yooyu itam war nga koy ndàmpaay so dañuy jël ay criteria su dee gis nañ ne minéral booy ut boo bugg a mine mu ngi fa tamit suñ demee ba gëstu yooyu yëpp nga am consent of the land owner or su dee community bi la nga am consent bi tamit dañ lay ebal si National Environment Agency ñu seet ndax liggéey boobu du lor environment bi torop mining in general is destructive waaye sustainable mining that's the slogan of this ministry nañ make a win-win situation where post mining land bi dinañ ko use for other things so dinañ la ebal si National Environment Agency ñoom tam am na ay gëstu yu ñuy def with other stakeholders ñu gis ne ndax mining mun naa dem within the environment so there are criteria soo demee ba at the end nga am yooyu yëpp si lay government su dee mining la la ñu make recommendation pour ministre bi signal la a mining license su dee quarrying tamit basically loolu la waaye lu ma doon bugg a différencier rek mining and quarrying dañ uute su dee mining la da ngay njëkk a def gestu bi soo ko paree da ngay wane da ngay toog government bi ngeen seet ndax léegi mineral resource bu fa nekk jar naay di ngeen ko mën a am na economical value balaa ngay dem si mining phase bi ministre waxoon na ko si sànq si introduction bi soo demee exploration ba pare gestu rek la pour xam resources bu fa nekk xaw ma ndax answer naa ko very well.
Okay. For the petrol price, when we increase or when we reduce, is across the board. Government doesn't differentiate. When price is depending on international oil price, because soon price is dependent on the international oil prices. If prices goes up in the international market, we have no option. Gambia government have been subsidizing oil for the longest time. The prices of fuel has been subsidized in this country. In fact, I'll give an example. Even Nigeria that used to, subsidize fuel, they have abandoned that because it's not sustainable. And government have been doing this for the longest time. Billions have been subsidized. So now our pricing structure is dependent on the international oil prices. When they go up, we adjust. When they go down, we go down. So, and we communicate this to all the oil companies, oil marketing companies across the country. I am surprised that you say, I'm not I'll be surprised.
Honorable.
Yeah, I'll be very surprised, please. Maybe if you can intervene.
if I may add on to that. Petroleum price mo wax nonu dégg la fana lu mo fu mo wax waxee mooy pétrole bi last month fu mu nekk fa la nekk this month waaye diesel bi boobu dafa yokku waaye lu ñu ko war a yokka sax yokkuñ ko loolu dañ ko ba léegi government def ko subsidier moo tax mu toll fu mu toll noonu waaye ëppoon na loolu waaye lu ko honorable minister wax mooy ne dañ pricing model bu ñu am dafa am international price yëpp nga faa dugal foreign exchange nga dugal everything model bi so suñu defee loolu dinañu wan lan la war a nekk price bi boobu kenn defu fa dara kenn yokku fa dara mooy lu war a am waaye suñu demee ba gis ne price bi am na fu mu toll dina xala loor nit ñi government si leen dee ñëw nguur gi jéem koo wàññi tuuti subsidize ko pour bu mu sonal nit ñi waaye lu xew léegi mooy ne pétrole bi yokkuñ ko si weer bi waaye diesel bi yokku na si weer bi différence boobu.
non waaye PS ngay wax ne am na petrol station yoo xam ne moom ñoom seen boss is up for diesel. waaw ba am na ñoo xam ne moom seen boss yokku so loolu moom ma jaaxal.
waaw loolu I think su ñoo def seen discount waaw petrol station bi am na rek pour ñu joxee seen discount waaw waaw ñoom mun nañoo ñoo ne waaw lañ bugg a def $1 si cheaper pour customer bi mun a jënd si man ñoo am nañ def right pour def seen discount waaye government price bi moom li nii la fa taajoo diesel bi moo change na this month pétrole bi mu ngi still stay where fu mu nekkoon because si international market bi pétrole bi dafa wàññeeku diesel bi dafa yokku
kon loolu baax na ma ku mun a wàññi price bi moom alhamdulilah macha allah.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Ngamol be konto jang, minister konto mem marata kurang ni jio ni kul bela. Ndede nga nyini karin dinna soto me alon ko akatanye dawun ko wolati. Adu nga alon atlesi je sena di noma. Wala mi nyinte ko nga sate wala soto jang me alon ko abe in between. Ni na Madiana, Yuna, Sare Pate, Mansakunda, yena Brufut. So atoni abe temale bar kurang man soto no je e fangle kurang polol sang ya sabana some people ya soto so satoni mumela be ni ala mo totalo juwe abe suti ala mo wuli fulalale ba satoni man kurang soto e man jiyo soto malum falla hakilitu be je kan ne bang falla hakilitu man tara je kan anen kurang na on and off men ke wato dolu tindinto soto koy Tindido soto kay mine sa fang ay jelo ne ka to ngalon ko abadi mabe siri jele ay jelo de yo say même fana mo nyinin karoti wala nyinti kurana on and off fana wek si fero ke no mo leba ko be ninga ama ya lon ko be maintenance o kala si ke baro dino molla in time pour mol salon ko kurang be soto e wati kare kurang be talal ngo mol le soto don ka futandal ayalo kurang bi jele ndele polo sak nga connect glado to anata ya last 2 months back I entered the fangal batande back karne 7 seater e baka tele jibe no ila firjo mukata so inata na makoy nga kumbota je inata transmitter sambananje wo fanande wo sitara handi jam fande ya fajan so inata transmitter sambanang media courant soto wala ka courant soto normal bari dol wol ma soto so nete ya soto e bonyo ma soto hansa e ma soto abaraka back.
Good evening. My name is Yahya Jao from the West Coast Radio. Honorable Minister, you have reiterated in your statement that a lot of oil drilling have been conducted, but without discoveries. Could you clarify to us what specific technical or geological methods that prevented you from discovery so far? And of course, what new strategies or technologies have you employed to increase our chances of getting oil in this country? My second question is, in 2025, 2 months ago, your ministry clarified a statement, an audio message that was from the ex-president regarding our oil and energy sector. and you talk about border proximity and resource sharing. In the statement, it mentions that the 2021 well drilled just 500 meters from Senegal borders, which of course found no commercially viable oil. Given this proximity, Honorable Minister, what safeguards or monitoring systems are in place to ensure that any potential cross-border resources are not exploited without the knowledge of the Gambia government? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I will go to the Tintinto question.